case you couldn't tell, I just watched Jack Black's Nacho Libre. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. I didn't plan on doing this vlog, but I watched this movie and it was so good, I just have to make a video on it. I think that Nacho Libre is probably the most quintessential hero movie of all time. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But first, let me explain the plot. Also, spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't want the movie spoiled. It's really good. It's free on Tubi TV right now. Go watch it. It's amazing. At the beginning of the movie, Jack Black plays this friar character who's kind of this, like, deadbeat dad almost. And I'll explain. This has these really good themes of family and fatherhood in it that I really want to explain. But Jack Black lives in this monastery as the cook for a group of orphans, and he feels that his life is pointless. Until one day, he sees an ad for a wrestling tournament when he's in town picking up chips for the orphans' breakfast the next morning. Just yesterday, while he was picking up these chips, he happened to be attacked by some homeless guy who we learn is named Steven, which is kind of a random name, but I'm totally here for it. I'm totally here for it. Anyways, he and Steven decide to enter the contest together because Jack Black ambushes him and tackles him and then convinces him to do it for the 200 pesos. And they lose. Pretty bad. But they still get paid. And this keeps the two of them together through more and more bouts. Nacho and Steven battle their way through multiple rounds of these tournaments, getting more and more money, but never really being satisfied because they always lose. However, a new form of conflict is introduced to Jack Black's life as his daytime pastime as a monk begins to conflict more and more with his wrestling life. And this takes root in the form of the girl that he gets at the end of the movie. The thing I love about this movie is how self-contained the entire plotline is. Ignacio, or Nacho Libre, the guy who the movie's named after, Jack Black, he goes from zero to hero in this. It's this beautiful arc. He goes from this guy who really doesn't know what he's doing in life to finding a purpose, making money through wrestling for the orphan. He goes from loser to this great wrestler who gets the girl. That's spoiler alert, but that's what happens. Now, the girl who shows up in the movie has a name that's really long and really hard to pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna write it down and you can read it. It's some Spanish name, tough cookies, okay? Now, this woman is introduced as a nun in Jack Black's monastery who has just come from Our Lady of the Snows of the Mountain of the something. It's a Catholic something, I don't know. Anyways, as Jack Black continues to make more and more money in his wrestling job, he continues to be able to feed the orphans better and better food. And it looks like life is looking up. But soon enough, conflict arises in the form of this nun who has come to the monastery. She talks again and again about how wrestling is bad and how the conflict is terrible and how it's not of God and how the wrestlers wrestle for vanity and for pride and for all of this worldly thing. And Jack Black finds himself in conflict with that because he has always wanted that glory and that feeling for himself. However, what truly makes this movie a classic is the way that he deals with these feelings and evolves and grows into a better character. Eventually, after one especially tough bout, he finds himself never wanting to wrestle again. He gets in a fight with his best friend, Steven, and the two of them seem to have split up forever. After the two of them split up, a new conflict arises in a brand new tournament. It'll be 7 people, and the winner will fight the greatest wrestler the world has ever seen, Ramses. Now, Jack Black has a purpose. His plan is to go and defeat these 6 other wrestlers in the greatest match anyone has ever seen. And we have this really cool fight scene where they're all battling and there's some really goofy, dude, I swear, one of them hits, 1, 2, 3. Anyways, after this fire fight scene, Jack Black loses. He gets second place to some big dude called El Silencio. Having lost the battle, Jack Black finds himself hopeless. He has nothing to show for all his efforts and finally decides to put up the cape and turn his back on wrestling. Now there's this really cool scene where Jack Black enters the chapel of his monastery in front of the whole orphanage and all the monks and everything. And he goes and he lights a candle and then he prays to God that he would be able to win this 10,000 pesos so that he can lift these kids up out of their poverty and their want and their need. And in the middle of his prayer, one of the candles falls over and lights his robe on fire, which, as the robe catches fire, it reveals his wrestler's pants to the whole congregation. And so his identity is revealed and they excommunicate him from the monastery. He goes to the wilderness and has this really sad, kind of depressing arc until his friend Stephen finds him and the two of them are reunited. Stephen gives him this great news that El Silencio has injured himself and can no longer fight Ramses. This is Ignacio's opportunity, but he almost doesn't take it. See, he's been in this wilderness, hopeless and purposeless for so long that he doesn't think he can do it. And so it takes a lot of cajoling from Stephen to finally get him in the ring with Ramses. Finally, Jack Black accepts the challenge and decides to go into the ring with Ramses. He sends his final letter to the sister whose name I can't pronounce and makes his way into the ring, stating that he's going to wrestle for God no matter what they think the Bible says about it. Now keep in mind here his character growth, right? He's gone from wrestling for glory and for his own personal gain to wrestling for something more selfless, for the good of the orphanage, and to help those people in need that he's supposed to care for, but that he has kind of failed. It's almost like a growth from a boy to a man that we see throughout this whole movie of taking responsibility and becoming a caretaker and a father almost to these orphans who look up to him as they see him on TV every day as the Nacho Libre. Finally, there's this epic fight scene where it looks like Jack Black is doing everything he can not to lose. And although the fight scenes are goofy and over the top and super choreographed, this one is tense. Like, you feel it. Like, you want him to win, but he just keeps getting beat and beat and beat down over and over again until eventually he spots the one thing that keeps him going. Right as Jack Black is on the ground with Ramses' boot on his neck, this massive dude is standing over him, licking his lips with the taste of victory. In walks the sister and all the orphans, and it gives him inspiration to fight this guy off. This newfound strength, Jack Black rips Ramses off, throws him from the ring. Honestly, let me just show you. After I think the coolest slow-mo that I've ever seen, Jack Black body slams this guy, and it's all over. Now the final scene is what I really think ties all this together. We see Jack Black. Future Will here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the footage of this scene, so you're just gonna have to listen to me yap without an interesting thing in the background for the next couple minutes. Have fun. Driving a bus full of the orphans with the sister sitting behind him. And although he never really got the girl, the two of them have become like a mother and father to these children. And I think that's what's really important, and what the director is trying to convey in this movie is the sense of family and growth that Ignacio has had from this nobody, loser guy who just cooks food for the orphans to a father and a role model for all of these children who don't have those in their lives. And while Jack Black never really gets the girl in a traditional sense, you can tell that the two of them have this mother-father bond over this brood of children that they care for. And that's what I think really makes this movie, is that while it doesn't take itself too seriously, it also doesn't take itself too lightly either. It's a beautiful yet goofy storyline of a young boy who becomes a man doing something that he's been told his whole life he's never been allowed to do. And I think that that's the best kind of story, and one that we need to keep telling. Thank you to everybody who watched this far into the video. I really didn't plan on making this. I just watched this movie and loved it so much that I had to talk about it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll try to keep more of this kind of content coming if you like it. Let me know in the comments what you thought you liked, what you thought you didn't. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But thank you again to everybody who has been watching these and been making these possible. It means so much to me, and I really just love doing this so much. This movie was 10 out of 10. Go watch it. It's free on Tubi. Please, go watch it. That'll be all. See ya.